Welcome back. Today we will be cutting this bob with bangs into an amazing must-know pixie haircut. We start with mapping out our haircut from the recession along the parietal ridge to the occipital bone back to the recession. I am using a 5.5 inch precision scissor from Mizutani. I start the haircut in the front zone with a slight diagonal back section, elevating the section 90 degrees back towards my chest, standing in front of my section. We continue with diagonal back sectioning. Using our first section as our guide, we elevate section 2 90 degrees out from the head shape, on base, working with the head shape. Our cutting angle mirrors our guide. We continue this process. Section 2 becomes our guide for section 3. Our body position moves with every new section, making sure we can stand directly in front and also directing our section to our center chest. The body position will help to create a round shape, and directing every section towards our center chest will help to maintain perfect balance. Once we reach behind the ear, we continue our sectioning back down towards the back hairline through the nape. We continue the same process, however, when we reach the nape zone, we slightly elevate or direct our fingers lower. This will create a shorter shape in this zone. This technique will save you time when refining our shape. We continue to take diagonal back sections across the nape and crown zones. You will notice a beautiful buildup of weight, working from shorter in the hairline and heavier in the top of the cutting zone. This technique is my all-time favorite when cutting short haircuts. We now repeat the same process on the opposite side. When cutting with diagonal sections, we create a very soft result. Cutting closer to the vertical reduces maximum weight, and cutting closer to the horizontal builds maximum weight. So if you want to cut round graduation while building weight and creating more shape, direct your cutting angle towards horizontal. And if your client has thick hair and you want to reduce weight, direct your cutting sectioning towards the vertical. Cutting with diagonal sections gives us the best of both. Remember to cut every section on base, directing the hair straight out from its section, using your previous section as a guide, moving your body position with every cutting section. Use your chest as a guide to maintain balance throughout your shape. Use your comb to elevate your guide into your new cutting section, and then comb down from above to place your new section into the perfect position before cutting. You could also cut the side zones with a round layering technique or square layering technique. Sometimes I like to use the diagonal sections with a round layer, and then I go through and texturize to collapse the shape to modernize. You don't always have to use round graduation or layering when creating short haircuts. It's really determined on the results you'd like to create with the hair texture you have to work with. When our sections cross over in the back and our guides meet, we will know we have perfect balance. If you don't have perfect balance, one side must be slightly longer, and you will need to assess and recut that side. Once we complete the graduation, I like to square off the center crown by taking horizontal sections and cutting a horizontal line. We now dry this zone into natural fall, refining the haircut with club cutting and point cutting. Normally, I would refine the hairline around the ears. The hairline I have chosen is to show you how to retain hair in this area for those clients who request hair over the tops of their ears. If you value my work, do me a favor and hit the like and subscribe icon. I'd really appreciate it. We now move to the top zone. I place my comb on the top of the head where the head shape curves in the front is where we start zoning out our fringe or bang area. I am connecting the crown into the graduation, taking diagonal sections and using my last cutting section as my guide. Before cutting, I ensure that I over-direct my new cutting line over the guide. This will create a softer blend into the graduation. We continue this process with low elevation. To maintain low elevation, you will build maximum weight. If you elevate with every section, you will create softness in your shape. We repeat this on both sides. Top tip: a crown that's positioned and sits lower always looks more beautiful and modern than one that's too short and sits high. To complete this zone, I'm going to take horizontal sections and join each side by cutting off the corner. This will flatten and give better dimension to the back crown zone. We repeat the same process, joining our side zones into the graduation, taking horizontal sections. This haircut can be cut longer or a lot shorter using the same process. Cutting the curtain bangs, we start with the center section. My first section is taken diagonal forward. My cutting angle mirrors my section. I place my fingers in the bridge of the nose as I cut my guide. I repeat this on the opposite side. I take my second section, elevating the section up. I use my previous section as my guide, elevating for softness, maintaining the length in the sides of the bangs. To complete the top zone, I take horizontal sections. I use the length from the side zones as my guides, elevating straight up, holding my section between my fingers, rotating around 180 degrees before cutting. This is a really fun way of removing the corner from the top zone, whilst adding maximum texture. Imagine you were cutting a U shape in the top, in every section. And to complete the top crown zone, we repeat the same process, elevating a V section directly up to the top of the crown and rotating the hair and section 180 degrees and taking off the corner. This will create a seamless movement in the top. To style, I'm adding sea salt spray and setting the curtain bangs with 2 small sectioning clips. and then diffusing the shape dry. Once dry, I shake out the shape, activating texture and movement. I now use the hairdryer and my hand to create a curved shape in my bangs, directing the ends back. I use texture powder to style the shape, creating a light, lived-in texture in the Pixie Haircut with awesome curtain bangs. If you like this tutorial, don't forget to like and subscribe, and let me know in the comments below what you'd like to see next. And if you thought you learnt a lot from this tutorial, you should watch one of these next.